welcome to Pedal Playhouse. I'm Joan of Heart, and a package arrived today that I wasn't expecting. But I will say, I'm rather predictable, because of course it's an effects pedal. This seems like it is the marshmallow from Alexander Pedals. There's something else in here. A flash drive? Well, I guess we're going to be seeing what this is about. And now we have a marshmallow with eyes and a mouth looking at me. Okay. So, who is your daddy and what does he do? You know what? Never mind, no need to answer that. Unless you want to. Inquiring minds may want to know.
Uncle Davon wanted me to give you this flash drive. It explains everything.
The meaning of life. Isn't it 42? Well, I guess if we're getting any real answers, I guess we better plug this flash drive in. Here goes.
Hello, Joan. As you can see, I've sent you the marshmallow pedal from Alexander Pedals, as well as my little nephew Alv, to help you with your latest feature.
Who are you talking to? Can I have a snack? Why are we in front of a camera? Are we gonna be on TV?
Calm down now, guys. I would have sent Theo and Sai to help, but you can see they are a little, well, they're a handful with just the two of them. And when the three of them are together, well, they get into quite the mischief.
No, we don't. Well, only sometimes.
All right, guys. If you behave, we'll get something sweet afterwards.
Yay!
Like I was saying, my little nephew can show you how the pedal works and answer any questions you may have. But definitely keep a close eye on him. And good luck.
You can count on me, Uncle Davon!
Well, it definitely did explain why you're here, and here I thought that you were related to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
And I was going to have to start to have to contemplate, who you got to call.
I don't look anything like him.
Well, you could have fooled me, but we're definitely off topic. Let's bring it on back to the pedal. So Al, what can you tell me about the marshmallow from Alexander Pedals?
The marshmallow is an effects pedal that, with a pair of pitch shifters, can be combined and modulated in creative ways that make a variety of effects, like chorus, tremolo, vibrato, and an arpeggiator that can get really wild and random. It has 6 different modes, and each mode has a secondary alt functions for even more control of the mode's effects. Plus, it has a pitch mode and a warp mode.
This sounds like a lot inside one pedal. Will I need to be a rocket scientist in order to understand the functionality?
You'll be okay. I'm here to You've nothing to worry about, so don't be afraid. We'll be on the move to create some creative grooves in no time.
So, Al, where should we begin?
Why not start with cool extra features like pitch lock and warp?
Okay, let's start with the pitch lock.
Pitch lock, as its namesake, allows you to lock the musical pitch in 4 different modes. The modes are color-coded. Violet allows for the pitch to be fully variable. Yellow locks to a semitone and a half-step intervals. Cyan locks to the major scale, and green to the minor mode. To change the pitch, you press and hold the select button, then press the ramp foot switch.
That's pretty cool. And what about the other feature, warp?
The bottom left foot switch is really an advanced expression functionality called warp. With warp, you can switch between 2 different pedal settings. To set the settings for warp mode, press and hold the left foot switch. When the LED turns on, you can start changing the settings. You can change alt modes as well. The ramp knob in alt mode is made specially for warp and lets you control the warp to activate instantly or slowly.
Oh, I am definitely going to have to try that one out for myself. So looking at the pedal, it looks like mod is the first mode?
You've got it! Mod combines a pair of pitch shifters with an adjustable pitch modulation. Great for chorus, vibrato, and organ effects.
All right, maybe we should just look at the pedal itself so that everyone watching can get a better visual or idea of what you mean.
The voice knob controls pitch 1, and the tune knob controls pitch 2, and both pitch shifters' range of pitch is 1 octave up and 1 octave down. The third knob is going to be the same in all modes and controls the mix, which is how much of an effect you want on your signal, with the capability to go full wet, which removes your original signal and only the effect is heard.
Sorry to cut in, but is there any other controls that are universal in these 6 modes?
In the main controls functions, only the mix is universal, but in the alt function, secondary controls, the second, third, and fourth knob are universal in all 6 modes. The second knob being the clock rate, which allows for you to change 24.1 kilohertz down to 1.6 kilohertz. This can either improve the quality of your signal by turning clockwise or degrading by going counterclockwise, which gives those lo-fi vibes. The third knob controls the signal level. This is the overall volume. And finally, the fourth knob is in charge of the ramp rate. This controls how fast the pedal slides between your settings as you engage the foot switch on the left. So, if you have a dialed-in setting, and when you step on the left foot switch, the speed that it shifts to is the faster rate that is set with this knob. If you want to slow move glide into a setting or a quick pitch jump, depends on that ramp setting. It can control how fast that change happens as you step on the foot switch. Does not change, however, the sound, but how quickly it engages the effect change.
Well, that definitely is helpful to know. I can only imagine if every knob was different. I would get effects pedal paralysis really quick. So circling back, I can control the pitch to create something like what might sound like two guitarists playing side by side, harmonizing in a solo for times when maybe I want to stand out or be, a little extra. This definitely sounds like something I might enjoy exploring. What else can we do in this mode?
If you set the two pitch shifting knobs to 12 o'clock, you can create the classic chorus effect on your guitar, which is a modulation effect where your original signal is ever so slightly out of sync with one another. That creates a textured effect and the illusion that a chorus of instruments is playing rather than just one.
Wow, this is only the first mode. We can already do quite a few different things. What's next?
The more extreme the mod depth knob is with its control depth of the modulation, the more seasick you can get with this effect. So, if you get motion sickness, you better grab a bag going into those extreme settings.
Wait a minute. How would it get fast enough to cause that, as I don't see anything that says speed control on any of the knobs? What controls the speed that can make things get a bit intense?
I'm glad you asked that. The secondary alt function on the voice knob controls the speed of the modulation, and the faster the speed, the faster the vibrato tremolo effect. So, it can get pretty wobbly on your signal like a boat rocks to and fro. So, no, I don't want to be on that boat.
Oh, trust me, neither do I. Just thinking about what that kind of thing can make my stomach turn, actually. I want to explore, but what I like about this mode. But I definitely agree. Let's not make ourselves seasick in the process. Okay?
Okay!
I have an idea. I wonder what it may sound like with being paired with other different reverbs and delays. I definitely like the way this mode sounded and how easy it was that you can dial in those settings. I think going forward, I'm going to keep that approach in exploring with other pedals. First, with the effect by itself with the dry signal, and then I'm going to pair it with some other pedals in certain ways that also at times will have the mix knobs on those other pedals at 100% wet, so only effect is heard and nothing else. I think this will be a really good tool for ambient guitar players and also possibly some folks that are sound designers, so you can get some interesting moments to break up the mix in ways that are really creative. What's the next mode?
I am happy to help.
Arpy. Happy. I see what you did there, but no. None of that. No bad puns allowed. Any more and you're gonna be sent to the pungeon.
Oh, trust me, there is more where that came from, and you'll have to catch me first.
You don't have any feet, so I don't think that you could move fast enough to get out of my sight that easy.
We'll see. But let's get back to the RP mode. Here you have full control over an arpeggiator, with the first pitch always being unison with the note you play with 3 other knobs: voice, 2 and mod knobs, which become pitches you can dial in.
So you mean you can dial in 3 pitches instead of 2, like in the previous mod mode? Nice.
That's right! The first pitch with your signal is an automatic unison, where the voice knob in this mode becomes the second interval. The tune knob becomes the third interval, and the mod knob becomes the fourth interval pitch. In the arpeggiated sequence of notes. This totals 4 pitches total, when you include the unison I mentioned earlier.
You can really do a lot as an ambient guitar player or as a second guitarist looking to do a lot with a small amount of movement. Just playing 2 notes on the guitar, and you've already played like a series of 8 notes, essentially, that create a lot of movement, yet you're doing the least amount of actual movement on your fretboard. I like shortcuts. Is there a secondary control in this mode?
The voice knob in secondary alt function controls the arpeggiator, speed and direction. If you set this knob to 12 o'clock, it is considered part. If you turn the knob to the right, it would speed up going forward, and when you turn it to the left, it will speed up as you go reverse. But be careful, you don't want to time travel unintentionally.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
So what you're saying is that I can change the direction of the arpeggiator to forward or reverse and its speed with the alt voice knob. That's really nice amount of control that gives a variety of opportunities to use this creatively. Thank you for explaining this, as it really helps everyone watching to better understand this mode.
That's why Uncle Davon sent me on a mission from Alexander Pedals.
You know, by telling me that, this has just become a not-so-secret mission.
Well, my, look at the sun. Why don't we just show everyone watching right now an example of what the RP mode sounds like?
I really love how you can do so much in this RP mode. So, what's next, Alf? Alf? Where are you? Alf? Where did he go? Oh my god.
Oops. Sorry.
Get down from there right now. My shoulder and my hip did not appreciate doing that unexpected Hail Mary save. So, no more fooling around, Alf. Can we please just focus?
Okay.
So what's this next mode?
Well, now we get a little chaotic.
Well, what kind of chaotic are we talking here? Like chaotic neutral, chaotic good, though I am a little bit nervous if it's chaotic evil.
What? No. Relax. The rand mode is just that. The effect gets really randomized.
Whew, I definitely rolled a 1. If this was an actual perception check, yeah, that was a critical fail on my part when you mentioned this mode being chaotic. And after just what happened moments ago, I, for a moment, was a little deeply concerned there.
This mode introduces a random modulation between the two pitch shifters settings of the voice and tune knob. These two knobs set the pitches for the modulation that they always return to, and the mod knob controls how far the pitch glides away from those pitches.
That sounds like this mode allows for someone to get really crazy with the intention to get super weird, but, in a fun way. So what's the alt function for this mode to control?
On the voice knob, the secondary alt controls the speed of the effect or rate for randomness being heard. So, the further clockwise you go, the faster the pitches are going to be shifting around randomly.
Oh, I definitely want to see how weird we can get. Let's try it out.
Let's go!
I've got a feeling this mode might be appealing. So, am I right to assume that this mode is probably called the ring mode?
Ding, ding, ding! You got it! Ring mode is an effect that pans between two pitches that can be sped up really fast to sound like a ring mod. At slower speeds, it can sound like you're giving your signal a tremolo effect. You could put this effect before your amp and early in your signal chain on your pedal board.
Wait, what's a ring mod?
Yes, I could best describe it as sounding like a malfunctioning robot, unstable, unhinged.
You have been awarded 1 yike. How would someone use an effect like that?
Well, you could blend it in with a fuzz or distortion pedal early in your signal chain and blend it in for some texture with the mix knob to taste. Like, a little may go a long way to get what you may want to use.
Does this have a secondary function control that we should know about for this mode?
Well, in this mode, the voice knob in Alt function controls which of the two pitches you favor hearing more of while it's panning.
Well, that's pretty useful in giving someone the ability to choose which pitch is more prominent within the panning, especially if you want to add some low vibrating, like earthquaking kind of doom in some heavier sustaining chords.
Well, let's show everyone a few examples in this mode.
So, what's next?
This next mode is the Dyna mode, and this mode allows for you to have a dynamic pitch shifter that responds to your pick attack on the strings of the guitar. The voice knob sets the quiet interval, and the tune knob sets the loud interval the pitch shifts into.
How do we trigger that pitch shift to happen?
I'm glad you asked, as the mod knob controls the sensitivity of the envelope detector to latch onto your note, to then shift it to the louder interval. The further clockwise and the more sensitive and easier to shift the pitch to the moon without needing to strike your strings as hard. It becomes an immediate effect rather than one you have to intentionally strike harder to trigger.
That's actually good for me to hear that, because when I like to think about effects pedals, I tend to try to think about ones that I either have already to understand a pedal that is new to me or a mode, when I compare it with other ones that I have. Like, I have a more slow engine pedal, and it has a sensitivity knob, much like kind of what this envelope detector that takes this note and then shifts it to the louder interval. And with this slow engine, it basically cuts off the attack or your note and then swells the volume up to then like bloom your reverb to come gently in and out. And it really is a nice effect. So with this, you're kind of choosing of the two pitches which is the louder interval it's going to shift into with that sensitivity knob. If it's high, it's going to be pretty instantaneous.
Hey, we're talking about the marshmallow here.
Let's get back on topic.
Yeah, you got me. Let's get back on topic again. So what is the alt function control for this mode?
The alt function controls whether you want to glide into your pitch or smoothly fade into the louder interval. Like, if you have glide in effect, you will slide into the louder pitch while smearing the blend of the two in transition to the louder pitch. With it off, you will have a smoother transition to the louder pitch without the blend in between.
So with the glide on, it could sound maybe like a Digitech whammy pedal?
A whammy what? John, again, focus. Stop getting distracted by other pedals.
I know it's a problem I have. They're just so fun to play with.
I know, but it's okay. Don't be sad. Let's go play now in the Dyna mode. Will that make you feel better?
Yeah. I'd really like that.
Alright, then let's go play!
thank you so much. That was really, that was so much fun.
No, don't eat me! What the heck is that? Get away from me!
No, Figs, you stop right this instant. I am so sorry, Alv. This is one of the reasons why I was so worried when you went missing earlier, because I have cats. It's just not safe.
Cats? As in plural? I think I'm gonna stay right here.
Well, now that I don't have to worry about you getting into any more trouble, let's get to this last mode. What is this mode called?
And here we are at the final mode, Cloud Mode.
I like the sound of this mode already. So, how are we all going to float on in this mode?
Well, in this mode, there's a reverb and delay added to the two pitches, and the mod knob acts as an adjustable feedback. The reverb and delay set to longer delay time with the mod knob can, in a way, create a cascading effect. Almost like trickling water. Now, with a shorter delay time, then it sounds like a pitch-blended slapback delay.
If it was a shorter delay, it wouldn't sound like that, Alv. But yeah, those sounds you described make me curious as to what I might possibly create in this mode. What does the alt function do in this mode?
It is a blend between two pitches, in the same way as the ring mod we discussed earlier. And you decide which pitch to favor hearing louder. Out of the two pitches, you dial in.
Yeah, that's kind of nice to kind of keep things consistent with the pitch blend between the two modes. It gives you some level of control to, your personal taste. So are you ready to float away in this mode?
I'm ready to
really think this is one of my favorite modes.
Yep, I was thinking it would be.
Well, I hope you are excited to have more fun because I have another effects pedal, and it's also from Alexander Pedals, and it's called the Sugar Cube. And I really thought that maybe it would be kind of fun to pair these two together, the marshmallow and the sugar cube, because even though they share some common functionality between the two of them, I think stacked and with their alternate functions dialed in, I think we probably could get some of the modes to create some really unique textures to think about and listen to musically.
Oh, I know that pedal. They're sweet. Yeah, let's play.
Thank you so much, Al, for helping explain this pedal for me so that everyone watching at home can have a better understanding of what the marshmallow pedal is capable of in ways that may not have been explored previously.
Of course. That's why I would send specifically and not my brothers.
Are you sure about that? Your Uncle Davon says you all would get into a lot of trouble when together, but I'd say you still found ways to get into quite the mischief today.
That's nothing.
Anyways, speaking of mischief, do you want to get together with the house band and see what they can do with you and this pedal? That was a wild time. Alv, I deeply appreciated your hand in that. Now, it's time to send you on your way back to your brothers. But don't worry, I will definitely send you back flying in style.
Thanks, Auntie Joan. You're the best.
Thank you for joining us today at Pedal Playhouse. I really do appreciate you coming along on yet another adventure of exploring effects pedals and gear with me. I also want to say a thank you to Alexander Pedals for sending over both the marshmallow and the sugar cube. Thank you so much. And also wanted to give a thank you to Davon Blue Whitaker for being a part of today as well. He also has a Alexander Pedals marshmallow demo that I think you should check out, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to put that link in description below, and also his music project, Boy Indigo, which great musician, you should check it out. He is one of the people that I would say inspired me to create Pedal Playhouse. So it was very much an honor to have him a part of today. So on that note, being inspiration to others, be the good you wish to see in the world. Be excellent to each other. And until the next time we meet, be seeing you.